Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of Would I Like Conan Exiles. So I want to try and get a few things done in this episode because I think we're coming to the end of my little Would I Like series, and there are a couple of things that I want to show you. We haven't so far done any fighting, and fighting is quite a large part of this game. You run out of stamina. Now, there are a couple of ways that you can go about the fighting. You can build yourself better tools or better weapons and a load of armour, or you can just try and be clever, and I want to try and be clever. Now, I've turned down the foliage settings for my recording. I think that might have been causing a lot of the stuttering that you were seeing, so you'll see it looks a little bit bare. That can be an advantage because it allows you to see things like the grubs, for instance. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, what we've been doing so far is what I call passive fighting. So we've been keeping our eye open, and get the words out, for things that are happening in the world around us, and then trying to take advantage of them. Now, if we there's a little camp here we need to kind of avoid. Funny rabbit. There's usually some guy wandering around. I don't really want to get into a fight with them, although we could take on one at a time there. On this little peninsula, there is very often a special guy that will spawn next to this crocodile. And can't actually see him at the moment. But sometimes next to that crocodile you'll find a guy, and it's often worth checking him out because the crocodile will fight him. So as you get closer, if he's there you'll see him. We would have seen him by now if he was there. It's a random spawn, but he almost always drops a piece of armour, which we can pick up and equip, and I think that will get rid of a couple of our journey steps. So he's not there at the moment, so we're going to have to come back. Now, this camp here we have, there are only 2 people in this little camp, so hopefully we should be able to pick them off one at a time. Just let him come over here to us. Okay, use the knockback there, and then we'll just get our stamina back. There we go. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but he was a level 3 armourer, so we could have captured him if we had a Wheel of Pain and trained him. He would have been ours, and then we could have put him on the armourer's workbench, which we're about to make. So that would have been kind of good. I've set my key to Shift F, which quick loots the body. Obviously there was a take all option. You can do that. I think the normal key is either F. I think it might be F, just for a quick loot. Okay, this girl is an archer, and again we could capture her, and we could use her as ours. She could defend our little camp for us. But I'm not interested at the moment because I have no way of training them. So what we're going to do is just, as soon as you move away, she'll switch back to the bow and arrow. So when you get close, she switches to melee. So you can use that switch between bow and arrow. Ooh, she's doing a lot of moaning, didn't she? The switch between the bow and arrow and the melee weapon gives you a little bit of a delay, so you can get in. And again, I'm using a combination of left mouse button, right mouse button. So left, left, right, right. And that seems to work quite well. There's nothing else here as far as I can find. I did once find... Oh, we're thirsty. Hang on. I did once find a little chest hidden in the forest there, but that was quite a while ago, and I think the game has possibly been updated since. I'm not sure what the chest was. It was kind of buried in here. But it was just a little wooden box. It wasn't anything special, so I'm not going to waste my time looking for that. Likewise, on the other side of the river here is another little camp, but these guys can swarm you. You can get easily inundated with 3 or 4 of them attacking you, so kind of something to avoid. The one guy does wander around. If you can catch him on his own, you could take him out, but we're not that desperate. So while we're over this neck of the woods, what I want to show you is some more ghosts up here. I'll just come around the corner. Try not to run out of stamina. We're going to go up towards the top of the bridge. There we go. So again, ghosts, if you follow them, they bring you over the top here. I didn't follow the ghosts, but you could follow them. They bring you up to the end of the bridge here. And there are some imps up here, so we want to get our stamina back. And they bring you to here. So again, little book, we can learn crossed arms, easy enough. And the ghosts will take you across the bridge. There's nothing else to find up there. It's just part of the storyline. And being followed by an imp. I don't need to take this guy out, but I will, just for the sake of it. Wait for him to swipe. Left, left, right, right. Easy enough. I'm not going to bother skinning him. Don't really need the resources. And here we have another talking stone. This one's a green one. And I'm not going to press it because I don't want to sit here and wait for him to finish talking. So if we run down here past these imps, you can see there's a big boss imp down here. Now he can be tough, so if you're going to take him on, make sure you take out all his minions first. I'm not going to mess with him. I'm going to make sure we have enough stamina, and then we're going to climb up this rock. Again, holding shift down, so that if we do fall, we'll grab back on again. More feathers if you need them, but we're going to go onto the top of this rock here. And you'll see when we get here, we'll see more ghosts. There we go. Now these ghosts will actually point at something. There we go, pointing off in that direction. So, say, what could possibly be in that direction? Well, to find it, you have to get there pretty quickly after the ghosts have pointed. So, I'm not going to waste any time here. Just going to run past all these guys. And you can see over there is a chest on the ledge. So now that chest will disappear if you don't get there quick enough. So we're going to run down here. And there's a secret chest. So this usually has some interesting stuff in it. In this particular case, it's just stuff. There's nothing particularly elaborate. But early game, you know, all of that, the coal and the iron bar, and you might want the ivory perhaps. Candle is just decoration, I think we got that earlier. So that's how you get the chest. And you need to keep your eye open for those ghosts, because sometimes they can lead you to areas that have, you know, particularly good loot. So the sun is going down now. I'm going to head back to base. I'm going to craft up an armourer's bench, and we will in the morning check to see if that guy I was talking about earlier has spawned. And then we need to prepare ourselves for the first dungeon. First dungeon is way up at the head of the river up there. It's not difficult if you're prepared for it. So we need to have a skinning knife, a shield, and a bow and arrow. So you'll notice I have built a bow. There's the brown guy. Oh, there you go, the guy is there now, so if we can just lose this shell back. And you can see his eyes are glowing. So he's actually a corrupted shaleback. So we definitely don't want to mess with him. So if their eyes are glowing like that, they are much tougher. And you will come across corrupted versions of all the animals. And you kind of until you know what you're doing. You really want to stay away from them. Oh, okay. That's new. Okay, so we want to watch this fight. Have some food. Okay, so you see this guy's given up now and he's coming after us. We want him to fight the crocodile. Say guy, it's actually a girl. No, don't fight me. Fight each other. Okay, so it looks like that might have been changed. They're just fairly determined to come after me. So what I'm going to do is swim out into the lake again. Just try and get them to fight each other. Okay, so she's actually killed the croc, but hopefully she'll be a bit weaker now. And the croc's actually... oh, it's in the water there. Right, so we need to make sure we get our stamina back. Oh, okay. Right. You going to come after me? Are you broken? I think she might be broken. There we go. So sorry it's a bit dark. There we go. So you can see that she was already quite damaged by the fighting with the croc. But we can get the usual stuff. Ironhead arrow, one isn't much good. Grease orbs, maybe. But more importantly, this flawless medium tacit. And you will always get something off her. And we can actually wear that. And that completes the clothe yourself. Yeah, because it's a medium armor, medium tacit is a medium armor, so we don't actually get the journey step to equip a piece of light armor. That would have been nice, but I'm sure we will find plenty as we go through the game. Okay, so I'm going to go and do a load of preparation, bits and pieces. Nothing much, get a load of resources and progress the game a little bit, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to go off and I'll show you the dungeon. And welcome back. So you can see I've got a little bit more armour on now. I've just made, possibly because of the version I bought some time ago, I have access to the royal armour. This is, I think, now part of the game, but if you haven't got this, just make one of the other ones. So we already had the flawless medium tacit. I've just made a chest armor and some boots. I can't make any more, like the gauntlets, for instance, because I need more leather, which I haven't got, and the helmet, laughably called. So not going to bother with any of that. Now, I have expanded the base a little bit. As you can see, we now have a tannery, the armourer's bench, busy churning away making iron there. And on the top here, I haven't extended it up yet because I think one layer is a bit small. I'd rather do 2 layers. But I've just put a blacksmith's bench here, which I haven't even used. Now, I've got stone daggers on me, which I made. And if I had a bit more leather, I could make the iron daggers, and I could make Conan's Atlantean sword, which is really nice. But I don't have the shaped wood yet. But for the first dungeon, you don't really need any of that. The essentials for this dungeon are a shield of some form, a skinning knife, and some arrows and a bow. Daggers are essential, you'll see why when we get there. And I've just got a stone sword. I've repaired everything. We could do with some more arrows. just in case, but honestly that's probably going to be enough anyway. So what I'm going to do, you'll see here I did make a medium harness. Unfortunately I can't wear that for some reason, possibly one of the mods I've got. It removes the loincloth, and I don't really want nudity involved on a YouTube video, so I'm not going to use that, which is why I made the royal armour. We need to make some bone arrows. I'm not terribly sure what we need, so I'll just grab some of those. And there we are, bone arrows. Oh, it's fibre. Now, bone arrows are not actually very good arrows. They're okay, but they're not brilliant. I think each one makes 10, so that would be 100 arrows. I don't need that many. We'll just do 5. You can also make the flint head arrows, which is just sticks and stone. Again, they're not very good, but for what we're doing, the bone arrows will be okay. So just going to craft some of those up. And then we're going to go and try and hit the first dungeon. Now you might say, well, this is a bit early in game to be hitting a dungeon, and I'm hoping to show you that that doesn't matter. We're going to use the most basic weapons. Goes back in there. Meat went off again. Yeah, if all goes to plan, and if they haven't changed it too much, we should be able to cope with what we have. Now, the armor value you see there, 136, is with a medium armor is pretty good, and this is all stuff that you should be able to get early game, so no real reason why we should have a problem. I am, however, a little bit worried that these stone weapons might, the durability might give up on us too quickly, so I will grab a little bit of stone on the way, just in case we need to do some repairs. Okay, so we're just going to swim up the river here, just keep following it up, and I'll bring you back when we get close to this camp. Okay guys, so we are getting close to this big camp here now. There are a couple of wanderers, and we could do with taking them out. But what I want to try and do is to get into the camp. Oh, here we go, there's an archer. Wanted the girl first, actually. I'm going to try and get into the camp without getting an entire trail of people following us, because that's just going to make life very, very difficult. Oh, he's run away again. Oops, there she is. So we'll let her come back over here so we don't have the archer to contend with. Oops, I just stamina. So if you run out of stamina, the best thing to do is just to walk in a circle. Oh, she's got a long reach on that sword, hasn't she? Okay, just sort of strafe. I'm pressing the left and the forward button here just to make a circle around her, get her stamina back. Okay, I'll take that. That might be handy. Now, it is getting dark, but the bit we're going to do now is going to be this bit in the lighted area, and we need to try and get rid of him. Can't even see him. You see how those arrows cause a bleed? So that can be a bit of a nuisance. I'd kind of like him to come out here where we can see him. No, he's not going to. It's very difficult in the dark because I just can't see where he is. So as he's shooting arrows at us, we'll just bandage up. And he's run back now anyway. Okay, so we're going to have to watch our stamina here. I could go up and round, which would probably be more sensible. But just going to try and duck and dive and make a run for it. And hopefully not attract too many of them. And just come up here. I think we've still got at least one following us. Yeah. Sorry it's so dark. Very difficult to do this in the dark. So I want them to give up. Now, we need to kill one person on the sacrificial altar for it to open. And there are a couple at the top of the steps. I'm kind of hoping we can do it without too many people there. I'm just going to wait for the light to come back up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to climb up here. Okay, so you can see a couple of people down there. Now one of them is an archer, so he's no good to us, but the other one hopefully will follow us if we manage to get to the altar. Just going to jump onto here, slide down, and this is the dregs. Again, there's a stone here you can interact with, and the ghosts are telling us we need to kill somebody on the altar. So obviously that's going to be hard to do with an archer. So we need to get rid of the archer. Okay, welcome back. So it took me a few attempts. That archer was a real pain, but I have finally managed to get rid of the archer, and we now just have the one guy here who we need. He's a level 3, and that's kind of one of the reasons I was having such a problem with him. But I'm going to weaken him with the bow and arrow, and then we're going to get him in here, and hopefully, if all goes to plan, we will kill him on the... Oh, it would be a help if he didn't fall through the altar, of course. So he has just vanished. Okay, that's not very helpful. Yeah, we need him on the top of the altar. Ah, there we go. No, apparently we can't kill him. Ah, that's better. So he can hit us, but we can't hit him apparently. That's not good. So come on Funcom, this has been a bug that's been around forever. We need to fix this. Alright, hopefully that should be enough. There we go. So you can see, once you kill someone on the altar, then it opens, and then you can run down the steps. Just keep on going down, and eventually you get a loading screen. And here we are. Okay, so now we get a moment we can use a healing wrap, just to get some health back. And it's a good opportunity to change over to the weapons that you're going to need. So we are going to need the shield, not the sword. There are some skeletons down here and some other critters I'm not too worried about those. Could have done with some more healing wraps, but we'll have to make do with those. I'm hoping not to need them anyway. So shield, daggers, and bow and arrow, and then a skin and knife for the end bit. It's kind of all you need. Okay, so as you come in, you've got a talking stone here. You can interact with that. There's a book down here. You can interact with that. Just something to read, I think. And the ghosts are showing you to walk down, and I think one of them does actually dive down the hole. Yeah, there we go. So that's just kind of showing you there is stuff down there. It's not terribly interesting, and I don't know why this stuff is such a strange shape. It's normally like a blue glowy stuff. And a loot chest, which don't really need any of that. I'll take it, but I don't need the salted berries. So. Get up before we drown. And as I say, there are some critters in here. You can kill them if you want, little salamander things. But we're not really interested in those. What we're interested in is following the path and solving the little puzzle. Again, more ghosts showing you what to do. You just run up to the door. I think there is a book on the ground here somewhere. Not absolutely sure where it is. Not too worried about the books. Oh, there we go. So just a bit of the story. Oops, that's all. So open the door. Now obviously if we do have to fight a skeleton, I don't really have a weapon that I can use. So what I'm going to do, because the axe is pretty useless to me now, I'm just going to put that on number 4. I'm hoping to just run past the skeletons, but you know, if you do end up in a situation where you really just have to fight them, well, you want something available, don't you? So this little puzzle here is why you need the bow and arrow. So you have to just ding that thing and then wait for the water level to rise. And then that allows you to jump out onto the next bit. So all of these dungeons have little puzzles. Sometimes it's a maze, sometimes it's things to shoot. You just got to look around, use common sense. Okay, so we can see the thing there. You can go and explore the sides if you want, but I don't think there's anything. You might find the odd chest or crate, but I don't think there's much there. So again, more things to shoot. So this one's a little bit more complicated. You have to shoot that one to get this water to rise. And then you have to shoot this one. And that makes this water rise, and then there's one at the other end, which makes the water on the other side of that little wall rise. Okay, so this water's receding now, so we just wait for it to come back up again, and then we go up there. There we go. And you see this water here. Wait for that to come back up. And just keep on going. Now here are the skeletons that I was telling you about. Now you don't have to engage them. There's no need to, it doesn't achieve anything. There are a few of them. If you have got a thrall with you, you can engage them if you want to, but it doesn't really, you don't get anything off them, so. Okay, so this one we have to swim around the corner here. Not quite sure what's going on with these graphics, I've never seen that before. Okay, so now this is a long shot, and the best way of hitting it is when you press the right mouse button, just wait for the tip of the arrow to glow, and that's a power shot. So pretty sure we hit it. And we need to actually go up here. Now there are a couple of places you can jump up, but the easiest one I found is just here. It can be sometimes tricky, doesn't really want to let you out, but that seems to be the easiest place. Again, a book on the floor, just a bit of the story. And here we are, this is the main chamber, she's just in the centre there. There can sometimes be skeletons just around the outside here, so keep your eye open, just in case they're hiding in the shadows. Got a little chest there, right, gauntlets, we can have that, there's a skeleton. So this skeleton is actually going to be in our way because we want to operate from just on the end there. I'm going to have to try and take him out. Now we can cripple him, but we can't knock him over, so just take your time, bit at a time. And to stamina. The stamina come back. Get the cripple on them, that helps you because it slows them down a bit, so it gives you time to get your stamina back. If they do get a good swing on you like that, just duck out of the way, dodge out of the way, and you get them in the end. Okay, we were looking in this, so we don't really need any of this. The crude bowl is just decoration, and the crystal you'll come across later anyway. So what I will do, because we haven't got anything on our hands and we need to equip a piece of light armour, is I'll just drop those gauntlets onto there. Gives us a little bit more protection, but honestly I don't think we'll need it. Okay, now we're going to be swapping between the shield and the daggers, so be aware that you're going to need to do some swapping around here. So to hold the shield up, you just press the control key, and that holds the shield up in front of you. And we're going to just come so oh, another skeleton there. Okay, did not expect another skeleton. Okay, so with the shield on, we've got a different move on the second right, the right click that we do the second time, barges forward with the shield. So I'm actually going to unequip the shield. I know a lot of you might prefer to use it, but it's kind of throwing off my attacks. Like to get that heavy swing in at the end there, so with the shield equipped you can't do that. There's just kind of a war of attrition, really. You want to make sure you're inflicting more damage on them than they are on you. Okay, so that gets him out of the way. Sometimes you'll find things on them, but most likely if you harvest the bodies you just get bone. Okay, so back to where we were. So swapping between daggers and shield. What we want to do is to hold our shield up. And we get a journey step for blocking. Okay, when she ducks under the water like that, select your daggers. Oh, she's gone over there now. That's no good. We haven't got time to go over there to get her, so I'm going to let her do her thing. So she will come back in. So stand a little bit closer. We want her to go back under the acid. She's just going to spit a load of stuff at us. There we go. So when she does that, we want her to come flopping out in front of us. Oh, okay. Looks like they may have changed that. Normally she'll come flopping out in front of us. We'll have another go at it. Not sure what's going on there. She seems to think I'm over the other side. Okay, let's see where she goes this time. Yeah, that's better. So then you get in there, get as much bleed on as you can, pressing the right mouse button, just stacking the bleed up. And then you get out of there quick. Hold the shield up and rinse and repeat. Sit back under the water. Get your daggers ready. And some reason she's... Oh, now she's over here. Okay. This dungeon, which I think was the very first dungeon that they introduced, has been here since way back at the start of the game, and it still appears to be bugged. So don't know why they can't seem to get it fixed. So you don't have to dodge those. That's kind of what the shield is for, to absorb those spitballs. But if you can dodge them, obviously it just helps the durability. Yeah, so she's gone over there this time. Oh no, that's definitely a bug. It shouldn't be inside her. Yeah, there's some kind of a bug going on there. So we're going to try again. And now she's broken. Yeah, she's definitely broken. And she's full health again. Okay, at least she's spitting at us now, so... Well, we'll have one more go. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to call it. Just wanted to dive down under the acid. She's definitely well bugged. Okay, so we come and run over here, we get the daggers, and she plops out. Oh, okay, all the way up there now. Yeah, something not quite right there. So, I'm not going to waste my time anymore. You get the idea. You use the shield until she goes under the acid. Then when she comes out, she usually plops out where you were because she's trying to squash you. And then you get in with the daggers, make her bleed, and rinse and repeat, and you're done. So I'm not going to waste any more time on this. That's a dungeon. There's a quick exit just here. This puts us out back on the top. And there you go. If all went to plan, you've just completed your first dungeon. The rest of the dungeons are all, well, they're not the same, they're completely different, but they all involve solving some kind of a puzzle. Maybe you need to take blood with you to get through the door, various things. Anyway, I think that's a good place to finish. I've given you a very, very brief glimpse at what is an enormous game. And if you're playing it in single player, completing some of the dungeons and the challenges can be very, very challenging. If you just want to play it and hang around and just do bits when you feel and maybe build a big castle, it's an excellent game. It can take up a lot of time, it's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that's given you some insight and maybe you can make a decision whether or not you would like this game. So this is Conan Exiles. And I'll see you again on the next Will I Like This short series. Take care now. Bye bye.